As if GTA wasn't controversial enough. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most evil Grand Theft Auto missions. For this list, we're looking at the meanest, most heinous, downright dubious missions in the history of Grand Theft Auto.
You should get laid or something.
Oh, I just did. A little jogger down by the water. But you know what, handsome? I got a hunger tonight that can't be sated. Come here!
Number 10. Deconstruction, Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas. While we don't condone the actions of the construction workers in any way, we can say for certain that things were taken a little too far in this mission. Once Carl finds out from Kendall that the construction workers have harassed her, he decides to take things into his own hands and scare them off by destroying all of the portable huts with their own bulldozer. After appearing from a portable toilet and witnessing the chaos, the foreman decides he isn't having any of it and heads right back in. Carl uses this opportunity to move the toilet into a ditch and then fills it with cement, essentially burning him alive. So much for scaring them off. Number 9. Flatliner, Grand Theft Auto, Chinatown Wars. GTA is no stranger to bizarre escort missions, but this one certainly takes the cake. In this instance, Huang is asked by the club owner Zhu Ming to pick up an old friend of his, a convict called Yuri who is currently on medical release. After stealing the ambulance with his sick friend inside, the two finally have their fated reunion, but things weren't what they seemed. Zhu quickly pulls out a knife and takes revenge on his former friend, removing his heart then and there, which is incredibly ironic considering the fact that the whole reason he was on medical leave was for his heart condition. Number 8. The Eddie Lowe Encounters, Grand Theft Auto 4.
You're funny. You're a real joker. I knew a joker once. Lovely guy.
From the very moment Nico encounters Eddie Lowe, it's blatantly apparent that he's a psychopath that you shouldn't get involved with. It doesn't take a genius to realize that Eddie's request to, quote, drop off his friend is just him hiding body parts of his victims, something that doesn't faze Nico in the slightest.
Special friend? I'm just dropping the kids off.
After aiding the serial killer in his crime, Nico ends up encountering Eddie again, only this time, instead of helping him, he ends up giving him a taste of his own medicine, killing him in self-defense.
Thank you, Nico. Thank you, friend. I'll see you later, man-eater.
Number 7. Dead Meat, Grand Theft Auto, Liberty City Stories.
Is it protection money? It is, isn't it? Tony?
If your mother said she wished you had someone else's guts, you'd automatically assume she meant courage. Not so in GTA, however. This is probably the only gaming franchise where such a wish is taken literally. So, yeah, you guessed it. Someone's getting their guts torn out.
Can't we be civilized about this, Tony?
If it wasn't clear that you're playing as an utter psychopath up until this point in GTA Liberty City Stories, the Dead Meat mission should make it perfectly clear that Tony Cipriani is many cards short of playing with a full deck. And we should probably question our own selves as to whether we really want to be controlling this lunatic. Not only does Tony chop up Giovanni's body with an axe, he then feeds it into a meat grinder, turns him into sausage links, and then delivers the links back to Giovanni's own deli. That is messed up shit.
There's loads of meat back here. Tasty. Okay, I'll take them.
Number 6. Friend Request, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Well, now it's payback time, you lying turd.
The hell are you talking about?
We've probably all scratched our heads at decisions made by social media moguls like Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook and Jack Dorsey of Twitter, and probably cursed them out on their very social media platforms too. But the one thing we didn't do was rig an explosive device to their phone, call them, and then blow it up on live television. That's just evil.
Whoa! Whoa!
Sure, Michael is more of an unsuspecting pawn in this mission, and Lester is the real psychopath ingrained deep within the conspiracy-filled world of the internet that wants to murder tech bros, but when we called Life Invader founder Jay Norris and his head exploded, well, we felt like this whole situation could have ended in a less fatal way. Perhaps a stern talking to would have sufficed?
That was heavy. You watching the news?
I don't have to. I'm watching the markets. I'll be trading pure alpha till close.
Number 5. Have a heart. Grand Theft Auto 4.
I am not in the mood for this right now!
Let's face it, there's a lot of nasty missions in GTA 4, especially the ones involving creepy scumbag Eddie Lowe, but taking newly iced bodies to an organ harvesting quote-unquote doctor is pretty sickening when you think about it. Nico is so cold-blooded, and we as the gamers are so desensitized that neither of us really flinched when Manny and Jay were executed for no reason, and we probably giggled when Nico took the opportunity to make a witty joke afterwards.
Well, he said he was going to bust a dealer.
There's an overall sense that this is the norm in Liberty City, and that it's no big deal to A. kill people, and B. get their organs on the black market ASAP. Of course, both of these things are extremely not normal, but suspending disbelief is an essential part of any GTA experience, or else we'd be maniacs.
The doctor has that stuff.
Good! One less thing to bother me.
Number 4. Treacherous Swine. Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
I've wasted my life and my people. Stand still and I'll make it quick.
You in the way!
When you're drawing on Brian De Palma's cult classic Scarface for inspiration, it should just be assumed that the end result will be less than wholesome, especially when it's the infamous chainsaw scene. So, when Tommy is tasked with killing Gonzalez in Vice City, he doesn't bring a gun to a gunfight, instead he brings a chainsaw to a massacre.
I'm gonna shut that big mouth of yours. He's got a blade!
Up until this point in the game, we've been killing folks mostly with guns and explosives, so the addition of a chainsaw seems a bit overboard in this scenario, to say the least. But there's no doubt it stands out from the rest of the over-the-top violence in the game by being, well, even more over-the-top. Suddenly, our fond childhood memories of this game are being complicated by morals and values. Damn you, adulthood!
I got good deals on speakers.
Number 3. Bringing the house down. Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories.
Great, Don. All I gotta do is dodge 100 wacko Italians.
Just head along the Porter Tunnel and you'll find your way in just fine.
This mission all boils down to greed, and the fact that Tony Cipriani is a psychopath, as we've already discussed. Taking direction from a wealthy billionaire who wants more city property to develop but can't get the owners to sell, Tony drives a van full of explosives beneath the desired city block via an old subway line and blows the whole thing sky high. Now, surely there was an easier and better way of doing this other than murdering an entire city block so one rich guy could own a few more buildings. The worst thing about this mission is that, seeing as it's a poorer part of the city, the majority of the people living there would probably be renting and thus not even own the property that they were just blown up for.
Know what I'm saying? Drive cool. Yeah. It's all good.
Number 2. By the book. Grand Theft Auto 5.
Don't do it! No.
This mission needs no introduction, seeing as it drew heavy amounts of criticism and was endlessly debated on the internet back when GTA 5 was released. Yes, it's the infamous torture scene that saw Trevor shock, stab, and gouge some poor guy nearly to death.
No. I think you're making this up.
No, I'm not. No.
Yeah?
I'm telling the truth.
Bushy beard?
But what makes it more evil is the fact that it's not a cutscene and we, as the player, are heavily involved in just how we'll torture this helpless man. Shall we use gasoline, electrical current, or just rip his teeth out of his head? So many choices. And if all of this sounds gruesome, then you should really see it play out on TV. Here's a tip. It's not for the faint of heart.
Now I got a racquetball game to get to, so Trevor, if you take care of Mr. K, I think we're all set.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Hot Dog Homicide. Grand Theft Auto 2. When it comes down to evil acts, feeding an unsuspecting busload of pedestrians into a meat grinder to make hot dogs out of them has to be number 1 on the list. Yet, despite being such an unimaginably vile act, making human meat products actually occurs twice in this video. Jesus, Rockstar, what the hell is the matter with you? You couldn't have had the pedestrians go shopping or do something nice? Well, apparently PlayStation wasn't a big fan of this mission either, as they removed civilian buses from the games. So, in the PS1 version, we're feeding an opposing gang into the meat grinder, which makes the mission a little less evil, but not by much. It's still pretty heinous.
Job complete!
In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on MojoPlays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.